The neon glow of the New Orleans skyline shimmered against the dark sky, a beacon of adventure. Inside the speeding car, the tension between Ava Sinclair and Jack Monroe was electric. Not the kind that sparks conflict, but the kind that pulls opposites together. Ava, a Gemini through and through, thrived on unpredictability. She was a journalist who chased stories, craved movement, and lived for the thrill of the unexpected. Jack, a bold and magnetic Leo, commanded attention effortlessly. A musician by trade, he believed every night held a story worth telling, especially if he was the one telling it. "This is insane," Ava said, gripping the wheel. "We don't even have a place to stay." Jack stretched in the passenger seat, unfazed. "We'll figure it out. Worst case, we sleep under the stars." Ava scoffed. "Stars don't exist in a city like this. Just neon lights and bad decisions." Jack grinned. "Exactly." The roar of Bourbon Street swallowed them whole as they parked and stepped into the chaos of Mardi Gras. Music bled from every corner, beads rained from balconies, and the scent of spice and smoke clung to the humid air. Jack grabbed her hand. "Rule number 1, no plans. We follow the night." Ava smirked. "And rule number 2? We don't get separated." But in New Orleans, fate had a way of rewriting the rules. The city takes control. It happened fast. 1 second, they were dancing in the street, Jack twirling her under strings of glowing lights. The next, a parade surged between them, a wall of masked revelers and flashing colors pulling them apart. "Jack!" Ava called, twisting through the crowd. She caught a glimpse of him, tall, confident, pushing through the chaos with that signature Leo determination. He looked over his shoulder, searching. Their eyes met for half a second. Then he was gone. Ava pulled out her phone. No signal. Perfect. Jack, somewhere in the maze of the quarter, turned in a slow circle. He wasn't the type to panic. Leos didn't panic, but as he scanned the faces, the street performers, the flood of tourists, his chest tightened. He needed to find her. A Gemini's search. Ava didn't wait for rescue. She never did. Weaving through the crowd, she let instinct take over. A bar loomed ahead, its warm glow cutting through the night. Jazz spilled from the doorway, raw and full of longing. If she were Jack, she'd go somewhere like this. Inside, the air was thick with cigarette smoke and whiskey fumes. A saxophonist played in the corner, his melody a slow, aching thing. Ava leaned against the bar, scanning the crowd. No Jack, but someone else caught her attention. An old man watching her with amusement. "Lost someone?" he asked. She nodded. He gestured to the empty stool beside him. "New Orleans doesn't lose people. It just makes them take the long way back." Ava exhaled. Typical. She always got the philosophers. "Thanks," she muttered, turning to leave. But just as she reached the door, the bartender called out, "Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop, midnight." Ava froze. That was the place Jack had mentioned earlier. The city was talking to her. A Leo's distraction. Jack's search led him into the heart of the quarter, where a street magician had drawn a crowd. Normally, Jack wouldn't stop. He had a mission. But something about the magician's voice made him pause. "You, sir," the man said, pointing. "A lost king, looking for his queen." Jack raised a brow. "You do birthday parties too?" The magician grinned. "Everything is a trick until you believe it's real." Jack crossed his arms. "And what am I supposed to believe?" The magician threw down a playing card. The Queen of Swords. Jack tensed. The card reminded him of Ava. Sharp, clever, unpredictable. "Where is she?" he asked, half joking. The magician pointed down the street. Jack didn't question it. He ran. Midnight at Lafitte's. Lafitte's blacksmith shop was dimly lit, its brick walls steeped in history. Jack burst in just as the clock struck midnight. Ava was already there, leaning against the bar, arms crossed. "Took you long enough," she said, smirking. Jack let out a breath. "You always this hard to find?" She shrugged. "You always this bad at keeping up?" He laughed, shaking his head. "I should have known you'd let the city lead you." She tilted her head. "You're the one who believed a street magician." Jack slid onto the stool beside her. Didn't have a choice. The universe was talking. Ava studied him, then reached for his hand. "Maybe it still is." The bartender set 2 drinks in front of them. Jack lifted his glass. "To the best night we never planned." Ava clinked hers against his. And the next one. Because one thing was certain, a Gemini and a Leo never stopped chasing the next adventure. And New Orleans was only the beginning.